What up, guys? James from Bolt Bros here. Chargers have signed Tony Jefferson back for a 1-year contract. Brought him out of retirement last year, brought him back for a second year. Great to be able to have him back. But does this also change maybe some things in the draft? Do we go high on a safety? We'll talk more about that because there's a lot kind of moving around with this safety group after 2025. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Bolt Bros, let's go.
Bolt Bros.
All right, guys. Once again, appreciate all the love and support. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel if you've not. Appreciate all the love and support that you provide for us, and put in some comments below about the Tony Jefferson signing. 1-year deal with us. He is back once again. He has had a phenomenal year with us. A guy that came from being retired to basically coming back over. Joe Ortiz probably influenced him to come on over here, but Tony Jefferson is a great pickup to not only just be able to create more depth and create basically 4 very solid safeties for this team, but he's a good leader, a good veteran, a guy that a lot of the younger guys can work off of and learn from, bottom line. And if you really have a guy like that that's willing to come back out here, I mean, I'm all for it. And I kind of talked about it earlier this week, or excuse me, last week, about Tony Jefferson's probably going to fill out the safety room at this point. So came back, 1-year deal. Awesome to have him back. I think he's a great player all around. Every time I kind of think about him, I always think about the preseason game where he needed to make a statement in the 3rd game, and he came out and just absolutely looked like a beast out there. He was a man among boys at that point, just taking control of that entire game. Multiple tackles. I believe there was picks, there was fumbles, recoveries, all these different things. The guy was just an absolute menace. So once again, Tony Jefferson, welcome back to the Chargers. Glad to have you back here and excited to be able to have you part of the safeties group this year. So excited to have him here. But, just to talk a little bit about the safety group here, obviously Derwin James, Tony Jefferson, Alohi Gilman, Elijah Molden. Now, what I was talking about in the beginning of this video is safety group is going to adjust next year. You technically have 2 guys that are under 1-year contracts, Alohi Gilman and Tony Jefferson. We obviously signed Elijah Molden to a 3-year deal. There's only 2 years left of Derwin James's contract right now. Obviously, he's still got plenty of good years ahead of him. I think he's going to be fine for the long haul. But, do you think that Elijah Molden would be that guy that would step in to be the permanent free safety? Or would you end up saying, hey, maybe Derwin James after the next 2 years that they would walk away from him? I don't think that Harbaugh would let him go and let Derwin James go. I love Derwin James. He's one of my favorite players, true professional, one of the coolest dudes ever. Love the guy. But once again, there is a player that I feel if we're going to go very high on a safety in this draft, this would be a guy I would go after. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go high on safety. I think we have a lot of other needs on this team than safety. But if I was to go out there and say, hey, let me get a younger guy, a guy that we could grow with, a guy that could basically grow with this team for the next 5 years, give or take, this would be a guy I'd really go after. Now, I think Elijah Molden's an absolute stud. I think Alohi's great too. I think he's done great things. Tony Jefferson obviously is a year-to-year guy, and Derwin is absolutely one of the elite safeties in the league. But if I was to go after a safety in the draft, it would be this guy right here, Nick Emmanwori from South Carolina. If you know anything about this guy, dude, when I watch some of the video clips of him, I mean, it screams either being a Raven or, if you want to say, we're the Ravens West. Screams extremely well. Now, once again, he has been compared to Kyle Hamilton. Do they want 2 Kyle Hamiltons on the same team? Not too sure. But at the same side, you can't have too many guys that are game wreckers and playmakers all around. And Nick Emmanwori is one of those guys that is an absolute menace. He also has been, Daniel Jeremiah compared him at the combine to Derwin James. Kind of the similar guy that you could play anywhere and everywhere. A guy that's got 4.38 speed, a guy that's 6'3", 220. This guy is an absolute missile out there. 4 interceptions last year, 2 pass defensive, 88 tackles, 57 solo tackles. Guy is an absolute solid tackler. A guy that you could put anywhere and everywhere in the defense. Great against the run, great against coverage, great in zone, man press. And once again, this is a guy that you can get potentially at 22. Now, I'm reiterating to you guys, I'm not saying we'll probably go that high, but all I'm thinking is for the future and what's ahead. You know, Derwin James has 2 years left on his contract. Elijah Molden has 3 years left on his contract. Alohi's on a 1 year. And basically, Tony Jefferson's obviously on a 1 year. Do you go after another guy like this that could be just an absolute playmaker? How fun would it be to be able to see Nick Emmanwori with Derwin James on the field at the same time? Just absolute playmaker type guys. You could rotate him down into the box. You could obviously put him in safety. You could move him to be able to pass rush, all these variations and ways that we utilize Derwin James, and even how Kyle Hamilton's utilized with the Ravens. This guy could make the defense just be a whole new level of how the back end of the defense works, and even added pressure in the front end with a player like Nick Emmanwori and also Derwin James out there. How cool would that be to watch? I think it'd be awesome to see. But once again, it's not one of those things that I would say that would be a high level pick or at least a need for this team. But I think it's an interesting one to be able to kind of think about all around for the long term. So once again, back to the subject here. Congrats once again, Tony Jefferson back to the Chargers on a 1 year deal. We're excited to be able to have you back with the team, and I'm excited to be able to see you out there working your magic once again. He's been a great player all around for us, but I'd love to be able to hear from you. What's your thought about the Tony Jefferson signing? Plus, Nick Emmanwori at pick 22. What do you think? What do you think? Probably not the biggest need, but I'd love to be able to hear from you in the comments below. Once again, like the video, subscribe to this channel if you've not. Appreciate all the love and support, guys. Once again, James from Bolt Bros. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.